Welcome to the Wolf Den, everybody. My name is Ryan Blackwell, and welcome back to this episode of Let's Talk About, the show where we dive deep, break it down, and talk about the things that matter, or just the things that keep me up at night. Movies, music, gaming, pop culture, the weird, the wild, you name it, we're talking about it. So grab a drink, get comfortable, and let's get into it. Current song that's playing is called Taz. If you want to hear the full song, check it out on my YouTube channel at Ryan Blackwell 1180. Alright folks, today we're talking about a gaming phenomenon that turned a simple survival horror concept into a multimedia juggernaut. We're talking animatronics, jump scares, cryptic lore, and fan creativity that just won't quit. That's right, we're diving into Five Nights at Freddy's and its respectful fan games. Now, let's be real, if you were on the internet in 2014, there was no escaping FNaF. Scott Cawthon dropped this little indie horror game where you're stuck in a haunted pizza joint with homicidal animatronics, and the world went wild. A little too wild, mind you. You had Let's Plays, theories, fan art. Hell, MatPat practically built a house on the lore of this series. But what made FNaF so special? Why did it spark so many fan projects? And which one of those fan games really left a mark? Well, that's what we're here to find out. Buckle up, because we're taking a trip down horror lane. Five Nights at Freddy's launched in 2014, and let's just say redefined the indie horror scene. Before this, horror games were just mostly about exploration. You know, walking through haunted houses, running from monsters, solving puzzles. But FNaF? Nah! This game strapped you to a chair and made you survive. It even took that primal fear of being watched and cranked it up to 11. And don't even get me started on the lore. Scott Cawthon didn't just create a game, he created a mystery. One that had people analyzing newspaper clippings, dissecting voice lines, and theorizing over every pixel of the background. This wasn't just a horror game, it was a rabbit hole. And when you give a community a mystery, they sure as hell run with it. Speaking of running, hold on a sec. Not this time, Foxy. With FNaF being the perfect storm of horror, mystery, and an active fan base, and it is really active, it was only a matter of time before the community started making their own versions of it. And oh boy, did they deliver. Some fan games stayed true to the FNaF formula, while others took the concept in wildly different directions. Let's talk about some of the best ones. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Don't worry, Cassidy. I'll get right onto that later on. Promise. First up, we got The Return to Freddy's. A series that started out as a direct fan continuation of FNaF, but quickly developed its own identity. It took inspiration from the early FNaF games, mixing classic survival horror with eerie new animatronic designs. While the series has had its ups and downs, it's undeniable that TRTF helped keep the fanbase engaged between official releases. Now, let's take a detour into haunted Disney territory. Treasure Island was one of the first major FNaF fan games, originally based on the Abandoned by Disney creepypasta. You're stuck in an old theme park, stalked by horrifying, soulless versions of Mickey and his friends. This game took the core FNaF mechanics, but gave it a fresh, unnerving spin. Because, let's be honest, nothing's more cursed than a Mickey Mouse with inverted colors, slowly creeping towards you.
Wanna see my head come out?
Yeah, no thanks, I'm out. Alright, let's line things up a bit. One Night at Flumpty's is what happens when FNaF meets dark humor. Instead of killer animatronics, you've got, well, Flumpty, a sentient egg with no concept of time or space. Whatever the hell that means. Anyway, the game is packed with surreal, cartoony horror, and it's honestly one of the most creative takes on the FNaF formula. Plus, it's the only game where being hunted by an egg is somehow terrifying. Props to Juggernaut for making horror fun. The joy of creation. Oh, you want pure nightmare fuel? This game took FNaF and said, you know what? Let's make it worse. Instead of a security office, you're in a house. Instead of being stuck in one place, you have to move. And instead of regular animatronics, you've got these burned, withered, and utterly horrifying monstrosities hunting you down. Nixon, and I hope that I'm pronouncing that right, really nailed the feeling of relentless terror. If you ever thought, man, I wish FNaF let me physically run for my life, the Joy Creation is the game just for you. Hold on. Yeah, let's just keep that door closed. Ooh. At the end of the day, Five Nights at Freddy's wasn't just a game. It was a movement. It inspired developers, artists, musicians, and writers to create. Whether it's official titles or fan-made projects, the FNaF universe keeps growing. And that's... now that's awesome. From haunted pizzerias to cursed islands, from psychotic eggs to shadowy home invasions, the FNaF fan game scene proves that creativity knows no bounds. And who knows? Maybe the next big horror hit is lurking somewhere in a fan project right now, just waiting to blow our minds. But for now, let's just keep checking those cameras and, ah, damn. Dang it. Should have kept track of the power. Well, guys, that's a wrap. If you liked today's episode, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and let me know in the comments. What's your favorite FNaF fan game? Till next time, stay safe, stay creative, and as always, remember to smile. You are the face of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza.